What's up, guys? Sub-Zeric here, back for another VOD review. Today, I got a new one-trick profile to review for you guys. So this player, I Google Translated their name, and it says it roughly translates to like natural talent, which is a pretty cool name. I have no clue how it sounds in Korean. I have the sounding out of it, but I do not want to attempt that on a video. So I don't know, maybe people in the comments can tell me how to pronounce it. But they're sitting at about 800 LP, peaked about 1,000 LP a couple of days ago. And you can see a ton of climbing they did over the last few days. So, you know, they're sitting about 200 LP on the 8th. And then even on the 10th, they were sitting about 500 LP. And then boom, 2 days, they shot up to 1,000 LP. And if you look in their last 100 of their units, 83 on Elise, 78 Heimerdinger, 80 Rel, pretty much every single game they are playing this vertical visionaries type comp. So I thought, you know what, let's review them. Let's see what they're doing to kind of optimize this visionary comp. And I know you guys love a one-trick profile. So yeah, I do have to find which profile is actually theirs. It ends with the one. I should just look at their little legend, man. This is way too hard for a white dude like me. It's this one, I'm pretty sure. But let's just go check to make sure. I don't think Tactics.tools even. Yeah, Tactics. I need lull chest. No, it does show their little legend. Yeah, so it's this guy. Okay. And yeah, once again, this is with the new VOD tool. I just checked out this profile thanks to MetaTFT's one tricks kind of like alert thingy. They basically have a page where you can see all the one tricks and who's climbing. You do have to pay for MetaTFT, like subscribe to their Patreon, but it's a couple of bucks. You know, I subscribe to MetaTFT, I subscribe to Tactics.tools because I mean it's a couple of bucks and they do a lot for the community. All right, first augment here. Wow, immediate reroll here. Looking at just like latent forge here. Yeah, I mean I think latent forge makes a lot of sense. I'm kind of curious. Let's do a quick. Why not? Why not for. And I mean, we can pause, so why not? Let's just do a quick kind of like idea of like, okay, let's type in 6 visionary here. I mean, I really want to do just this. Type 6 visionary, go to items, don't even have to split by item holder. So yeah, let's not do that. And then type in Orn items here, and then let's take a peek. Anima Visage being one of the best ones is quite interesting to me. But yeah, Mana Zane really good. Anima Visage, yeah, Anima Visage is the best here. And then let's split this down by item holder. And the idea is this is more like visionary reroll. So I guess if you really want to get an idea for it, you would filter out stuff like Renata 3, because we are not really playing around we're not really playing around like the visionary reroll type stuff. We're playing more like straight up. And you still see anima, interestingly enough, in the data, which, you know, it's fun to go down these. Yeah, and it says Elise anima visage is actually pretty solid. Interesting. Huh. I mean, I think the stats are certainly saying that you kind of just need some frontline stuff like Light Shield and Anima, really nice. Though obviously stuff like Mana Zane, Lightning Jewel, not bad. And then as you go down, they get worse. I mean, honestly, doesn't seem like the world's best artifact comp, but I mean, not bad. And we'll see, you know, what we end up going. I'm pretty sure when I peeked at this guy's lol chest, he basically never plays the reroll variant of it. He's always just pushing fast 8. So it'll be interesting to see where that goes, because I mean, I'm certainly imagining that like if you're not interested in playing the reroll version, that you would just level up here and play strongest board here. But maybe they have a really high prio on making econ. And the other piece of this is maybe they're not confident that even if they level here, they're down a silver augment. So why would we like try to play for win streak in this spot when we're almost guaranteed to not 5 streak unless we hit, you know, maybe if you hit like Morgana 2 here, you level. But I like this a lot. This is something that, you know, I've been thinking about more and more recently, is just kind of like how likely you are to actually win streak in spots like this, where yeah, you have the Vex 2, you have the Singe 2, but we're down an entire silver augment for this stage. Surely we're going to rotate into somebody strong enough that it's going to be an issue that we're down that, then lose our streak. And you know, if that's the case, then wouldn't we rather? I mean, somebody like this certainly looks like even with Irelia on the board, we might have lost here. Pretty crazy, actually, because this guy is only 3 units, but I mean, that Camille and that powder just like actually smurf the frontline powder these days. More and more people doing it, and it's so gross. So I mean, here you can actually, I mean, this is the reward. We didn't level, and now we're way richer than we normally would be. And you usually, you know, we saw this with the Korean player who one-tricked Scrap when Scrap was like giga broken. You know, I feel like Korea tends to be ahead of the meta on one-tricking stuff like this that's just a bit stronger. So I'm curious to see, you know, I know this is certainly in some people's minds a decent comp, but not necessarily something that people are like, you know, you should like hard force this. And also the other piece of it is that it makes a lot of sense that we are lost streaking from the perspective that we do want a one-trick. You know, we want to make sure that we are getting to certain stuff. You could see like we didn't even slam anything here because if we are playing the you know, fast 8 6 visionary version of this board, you tend to really like blue buff. Actually really curious to see what we go for on carousel here, because you could, yeah, prio tier above all else here to guarantee that we get this blue buff. I think it makes perfect sense. I mean, blue buff when you are playing around 6 visionary is so big on the Heimerdinger to just get him going cast. And so this makes perfect sense and also explains the loss streak. Even though we had a pretty strong board, the idea is we don't want to win these fights because we want to guarantee off first carousel that we're picking up this tier and making blue buff. This is something that I think a lot of people miss, and a lot of people say, you know, like, oh man, like, you know, I played this comp and I didn't get a single, you know, component that I needed the entire game. And it's like, well, did you loss streak? You know, I kind of played strongest board. Like, oftentimes people will just default to playing strongest board and that'll save you HP. But I mean, in a spot like this, had we played strongest board, leveled for the Irelia, maybe we would have won that first fight and then ended up on a mixed streak, and then maybe we would have missed the tier off carousel. Maybe not in this case because it was on a 1 cost, but you know, say it was on a 2 or 3 cost, maybe we would have missed it. It's interesting that we were actually second round of picks, kind of happy probably that the tier was on a 1 cost. But yeah, all right, this guy, ooh, wait. The board that we're fighting against here looks like their Pandora's Bench into Sork's reroll. I mean, we'll see what they end up playing. They do have a 4, I mean, maybe not actually. They have a 4 cost and 2 3 costs. Maybe they're just playing regular Sorks. Oh, I thought maybe they were gonna play like a Sork's reroll setup, but I don't know how they have a Vi already. That's pretty interesting. We're Caitlyn Portal, right? Gold subscription, yes. All right, so yeah, I mean, we'll keep chilling on this board. Once again, I would be quite surprised to see this player actually roll down here at 3-1, even though, you know, if you were playing like a Morgana reroll like we've talked about, you would do that. And no, like even look at that, we already pre-leveled up to level 5 actually, so no chance that we're actually rolling down here on, you know, a lower level. This is always going to be just pushing levels, trying to get to 8 as quickly as possible, and then play around Heimerdinger carry. Who cares about vertical visionary? I mean, makes sense. Guardbreaker comes down here, and the Declaw. Yeah, I mean, these are 2 beautiful slams. Guardbreaker really, really nice. It's just a broken item. I mean, I would really like to see, can we buff Jewel Gauntlet? I'm pretty sure this augment has been underpowered for like 10 sets. Okay, I mean, that's an exaggeration, but I mean, not even that much of an exaggeration. And the only reason I assume they don't nerf it or buff it is because, you know, like, people take it anyway. Raining Gold, big grab bag, all its shimmers here. I mean, if you want to force a comp, more gold's not bad. Big grab bag. I'm curious to see what his priority is here on if you want something like a big grab bag, because, you know, I don't think this is really a comp that loves items. Yeah, Epoch here over Raining Gold for a similar idea, just to get an Econ Augment down because we didn't have an Econ Augment already. And the nice thing about this as well is that it allows us to roll a little bit. It's kind of interesting, but, you know, maybe allows us to pick up an upgrade there. Now we have the Morgana too that we're pretty happy with. We have this Leona as well. And so, yeah, using the Epoch to stabilize us a bit and then also give us some extra XP and then refreshes on 4-1 when we are going to, you know, try to hit the board. So, yeah, likes that over Raining Gold. I mean, both are Econ Augments, but this one allows us to spike a little bit here. Great loss, actually. Wow, single unit loss is beautiful for us in this spot here. And we're not even that low, 64 HP. I mean, second to last is 68 HP, and they only have a 3 loss here. They are 57 gold, and we're 63, so you can see. Though, to be fair, I guess they are 0 Econ Augment, so honestly, we're like a little poorer than them absolute terms because we took an Econ Augment, but we had to roll a bit and make some upgrades, so makes sense. And this is probably going to be another loss to that guy. I mean, we'll see here. I mean, they have the Camille too. I don't see how we're ever killing that. I mean, another great loss here. I mean, yeah, loss streak into a comp like this. This certainly has echoes of the scrap player, and we're even holding on to this Corki maybe to like deny scrap players or something. There is a Heimerdinger on carousel there. I have to imagine that will be our pickup if we can get it. We can't actually get it, so we have to take a rod here for, I mean, a lot of stuff. Does this player, I'm actually going to peek in, want the Heimerdinger? No, it kind of looks like they just took it for the cloak. Let's see their board once we go back there. But yeah, I mean, well, actually, they have a bunch of Sentinels on this board. Maybe they do actually want a Quick Striker +1, though. I'm not sure where they're actually going with this. We can also see our anvil here, and it was the Blighting Jewel. Let's actually go back a bit to see what our options were there, just because it is kind of important. Blighting Jewel, yeah, I mean, The only other option was, I think, Unending Despair there. Let's skip ahead a little bit now. Yeah, okay, now we can see the pop. Yeah, I mean, Unending Despair, but you saw Blighting Jewel in the stats earlier that we were looking at. It's so nice. Yeah, Unending Despair, I mean, you'd have to throw it onto someone. Yeah, I mean, there's actually nobody to throw it on really in this comp. You can throw it onto like Lorius, but usually not playing, like we were talking about, the main tank oftentimes is Elise in this comp. That's the one that we're playing most of the time, so no need to take that. And Blighting Jewel, you know, there's a lot of units. I mean, it's actually, it seems quite nice on this Morgana here. Almost makes us want to play like a Morgana reroll, but obviously we're way too far gone to do that. But I mean, I guess it just goes on to the Heimerdinger. Is there another unit in Vision? I mean, eventually it obviously goes on to Malzahar. Malzahar is disgusting with it, but I mean, you're not really guaranteed to get to Malzahar. So, I mean, I guess you can throw it onto Heimer. I'm actually curious how good or not good it is onto Heimer. I'll pull that up on the stats on the other monitor, actually. 6 Visionary Heimer. And go to items and Blightening Jewel. It's got a negative delta, so not so bad. Okay, it's not terrible. Okay, good to know. Good to know. So yeah, you can throw it onto Heimerdinger. Obviously, eventually, once you find Malzahar, I mean, I'm curious here if I just pull up, if I put Blighting Jewel in, what the difference is, Heimer versus yeah, I mean, if you just have a Blighting Jewel, it's positive 0.14 on Heimer delta, and then getting it onto the Malz is negative 0.23. It's honestly not as big a diff as I would think. You know, there's a delta diff there, but it's not huge. Kind of interesting. So seems perfectly serviceable on Heimer. We have the level 8. I really don't even feel the need to slow this down because I think the units that we're rolling for are very, very straightforward here, and I'm really getting echoes of the player that we watched who one-tricked the other comp, who was one-tricking also item-wise here. We can just make Protector's Vow, and then we do actually have Morello left open if we want to make Heal Cut here, so we'll see. But I mean, Morello is so good in this comp, so I imagine we would end up making it fantastic onto Malzahar later. But yeah, echoes of that player, lost streaking and then rolling aggressively for their board. Last augment here, Mentorship, Bulky Buddies, Glass Cannon. I mean, I don't know. Bulky Buddy seems fine enough. They're thinking Glass Cannon. Wow. Unless we're going to go Portable. And yeah, Portable at another pull out. We do get the Anima Visage, which I think has to be the take here. Yeah. And yeah, going to continue to just send it to 0 here to be as stable as possible. This is such a, you know, the more that I watch Korean players, I feel like this is just like the Korean style of play. It's like just you know, lost streak, amass a bunch of gold, and then send it to 0 on 4-1, 4-2, and then just send it to 0 every single round digging for your stuff, which, I mean, if you're a board that stabilizes hard, then it's not bad. And I do actually think this board has a lot of similarities to the 6 scrap board in the same way that when you get to that 6 Sentinel, you stabilize really, really nicely. Though we don't have Heimerdinger 2, and we were fighting some pretty strong boards here, so I don't know how we're actually going to wriggle out of this one, because this spot looks very dire. There's our Heimerdinger pair at least, which is really nice. There's our Alawi as well, who is going to hold onto all of these nice items for now. And we are going to finally make the Morello. Yeah, curious that we didn't make it earlier. I want to do a quick perusal of the lobby. Can't see everything too quickly. It looks like almost no Heimerdingers out, which is really good for business for us. It means that finding that Heimerdinger 2 would be really nice. I guess the other upside to lost streaking is kind of on every carousel, there's something you're excited to take. Stage 3 carousel, if you get a Heimerdinger, you're so excited. This carousel, if you get a Malzahar, you are you know, over the moon. So it's another kind of thing to think about with a comp like this. Curious what we take here. Just a Rod here for, you know, good enough damage item to go into Malzahar later. Makes sense. But yeah, you know, think about this similar to the scrap comp. You know, if you get an Echo or a Corki off stage 3 carousel, if you get a Rumble off of stage 4 carousel, same idea here. There's the Heimerdinger 2 finally, so boom, we are starting to stabilize here. And then yeah, I'm curious to see, yeah, the Jace is just going to come in on this board or come out. Okay, never mind. We don't want to play him. I mean, you can fit, yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that we weren't doing this quicker, but okay, this is going to be the setup now. Tank items onto Jace here. All right, and then the Hodge goes onto backline. So the idea is that we think Jace is going to be tankier than these random Sentinel units. I mean, I don't completely doubt the idea. All right, let's go into Anomaly here. It'll be fun to see Anomaly priority here. I have to imagine we're just looking for something for the Dinger in this spot, but we'll see. Ooh, Magic Expert. I mean, sounds pretty bad on Heimer. Yeah, we do roll past it. Infectious. Are we going to take this here? The only problem is that we're a little bit low for it, but I mean, the upside is we're pretty stable now that we have Heimerdinger 2, and if we can spread this to this entire board, I mean, I imagine our damage is pretty concentrated in Heimer, but stuff like Renata, and obviously once we get to other stuff like the like the Malzahar. Even Elise is a really nice unit who you can potentially play around in this setup, just because like she uses AP pretty well. Though this guy's got Elise too. I wonder how many Elises already out of the pool. Pretty scary. But yeah, we'll see here. Jace doing a good job of actually being kind of a tank with this setup here, and yeah, we end up stomping this board. Every round that we win is a huge victory for us because we are Infectious Anomaly. Also, I'll take this chance to just take a look at the lobby because, I mean, what is this board? Oh, it's just an Emissary, very strong Emissary Sorks board who's kind of hit a lot of upgrades naturally, just like strong early game scrap board. Another Emissary Sorks board, us. This guy who's playing Enforcers with an Echo actually playing decently around Camille because it looks like they missed on Vi, which is pretty rough. This guy, Visionary. This guy, Emissary. Quick Striker is the guy that we were looking at earlier, playing around like Corki and stuff like that. And then this guy is also another Enforcer board without the +1. Interesting. Okay. So I would say the only kind of weird thing about this lobby is there's more Enforcers than I'm used to seeing. 2 Enforcers in a lobby, especially one just straight up playing without the +1's kind of interesting. But yeah, all right. A question for what we're going to do this game. I mean, we're going to dig for Malzahar items here. I mean, you know, ooh. Redemption. Okay, Redemption. Yeah, I mean, Redemption Death Cap seems solid. I was thinking maybe another item for the Mals, you know, make like a Guard Breaker or something like that. But I guess the downside to it is where would you actually place that for now? Right now we have this Hodge sitting on Renata and it's pretty good. And we do need to be as strong as possible right now. That is quite important here. I mean, you can see why. Once again, like our front line is kind of ass, but I mean, just with the 6 Visionary, the healing, like we have enough front line to actually make it there, which is, you know, kind of surprising. But I mean, also 5k damage from the Renata, wow. But I mean, yeah, everybody, you know, healing. I mean, the Heimerdinger healing 1473. That's a lot. So I mean, you can see why. I keep accidentally. It's too easy to click around all this stuff. But yeah, I mean, a frontline board of a bunch of 2-stars without much. I mean, any combat really juicing up the front line except for this Anima Visage. But still, we're doing fantastic. Yeah, the Heimer is just outputting so much damage. And now we're scaling up the Infectious Anomaly. We're winning every fight. I mean, it's a top 4 locked in already. And then we have the level 8 that we can push next round, or the level 9. We can dig for a Malzahar. If we pick up the Malzahar, we are going to be so happy. Only sad thing is we've spread Infectious Anomaly a little bit onto, you know, somebody like a Vex who we're going to have to sell, but not the end of the world. And then if we can pick up the Elise, it finishes out the board really nicely. If we ever find Elise 2, we can move items. If not, we can just leave items on Jace. So yeah, I mean, the board is looking good. This is actually an interesting test for it because this is a pretty strong scrap board. And yeah, we do end up losing. I mean, this guy has a lot of upgraded scrap units, so I'm not surprised that we end up losing that fight there. There's a Malzahar on Carousel if we want to just, I mean, you have to, right? Guarantee it, and boom, there he is. That is why, I mean, if you ever can guarantee that on stage 4 Carousel, that's so good. I mean, there's the Mals. And by the way, I mean, just having played this comp, I feel like Mals 1 spikes your board a disgusting amount. Also, I mean, Mals 2 would be even better. All right, I'm sure, going to get the Elise in onto this board. Probably going to move the... Ooh, actually... Okay, we did actually get the items off Renata at the last second, and we do move the items over to Elise here. So yeah, always putting items over to Elise. Gonna put the Academy item, the Hodge, over to the Malzahar here. Only scary thing is we are just barely... Oh, the Mal's damage over time. Oh my god. Just one single upgrade on this board would have won us that fight so hard. There's the Mal's 2. We can just downgrade the Renata, right? Yeah, this is beautiful. Oh my god, this is huge for us. That is so much damage. And I'm actually curious, last fight, how much damage... Yeah, this is why. Like, Mal's 1 is such a spike. 6,000 damage from a 1-star. And now we have him 2-starred. He's already got Infectious Anomaly spread to him, which is beautiful as well. Like... the spot is looking really nice. Our biggest issue is that we have no frontline. You see this frontline blows up so quickly, but I mean, Mals and Heimer do a good job of saving it. Just barely enough damage that Mals 2 saved our butt, and now we're continuing to spread Infectious Anomaly. We really just need the Elise 2. Let's do a quick check of the lobby. 3 Elises out. This guy has 0 Elises. This guy's got another 3 out, so that's 6, 7 Elises out. So we are really just digging for the last few Elises. We need... actually, there's 8 out. We have 1 on bench, so we need one of the last very few Elises, but I mean, it's definitely still hittable, and we do hit it huge there. Also have that Jace 2 that we can definitely hit. Boom, that gets picked up here. We can maybe pick up an item for him, or even maybe move the Hodge over to him. He's gonna go Gargoyle. Okay, so I was thinking maybe Hodge the Jace, but no, he's just gonna move over all the tank items. Triple tank item Jace. This looks really nice as well. And now we have our rematch against this board. Also interesting that we didn't end up actually moving the Blighting Jewel over to the Malzahar. I have to assume that was just a mistake, but I mean, we didn't have, you know, max amount of reforgers and we removers, and we kind of lost time. I imagine in an ideal world you would swap this Death Cap and the Blighting Jewel, but we only have one remover, so we can't really do it now. We would have had to do it that single round, but just kind of ran out of time. So I mean, you know, not the end of the world by any means. And you know, the Heimer, when we were looking at the stats, does perfectly well holding it. But yeah, we've made it to level 9. We've made it to all of the 2-star 5 costs. So the only question is, how high does this board cap out? We're fighting a pretty strong Sorks board here. I would say that I think in general this board does cap higher because you do have, you know, the possibility of Mal's 2, of Jace 2, of just having 6 Visionary as well is such a big spike overall. I feel like it does actually, you know, overpower stuff like the Sorks board, though this guy's not even 6 Sork on this board actually, which is kind of interesting. So we'll see. They were level 9, right? Yeah. So what are they actually? Well, okay, we'll see. In any case, we are in another fight against this Sorks guy. We do end up beating them. Was a huge, another really scary fight. Oh my god, these fights are horrifying here. I mean, Black Rose +1 does give us just a random Scion, which, you know, not bad at all there. You can't be too unhappy about that, I would say. So yeah. Oh yeah, they're playing the Elise in this slot. They would rather actually play Elise than 6 Sork, which is kind of interesting. Now they've leveled up, so the only problem is how the heck are they going to find one of these 1-cost sorcerers? Because I feel like 6 Sork is such a big spike. I wonder why they're not playing it. But I mean, maybe their thought was they needed more frontline. They didn't actually want to play 6 Sork. I don't know what the prevailing sentiment is, but I would think it's that 6 Sork is good. This scrap board gave us a run for our money, really close actually. But yeah, 20,000 damage with the Heimer plus the Malzahar combined. It's just so gross here. And now it's just us versus this Sork guy. I honestly want to look at their board just to see if they can find it. But no, I mean, they end up playing this random Mordekaiser who, yeah, I mean, I think they would 1,000,000% rather have a random Sork on this board than just the Mordekaiser with 0 items, who's really not going to do much. I guess he has the Spark now, but, you know, still not amazing. But we'll see here. The Declaw onto the Elise also fantastic into this matchup. A really nice pickup for us earlier. Yeah, this fight barely looks close, even though they're level 10. So we'll see. Going into stage 7, I mean, they're 40 HP. Remember, this guy win streaked the entire early game. So yeah, not too much to say. I'm even surprised that Jace isn't even on this board. Obviously, we already have Form Swapper here, but just Jace over Mordekaiser just has a better unit. But I mean, I guess the idea is Mord 2 is Mord 2. We'll see them roll down. Okay, that's a Warwick. That's certainly going to fit onto the board, especially if they don't find their 1-cost Sork. Yeah, I mean, continuing to roll down here, just taking for something. Let's see what we pick up. We do pick up a Victor here. Oh, it does come onto the board. Did we push 10 here? Yeah, we did push 10. Found the Victor here. It's going to be Declaw over to the Rel here. So now we have Victor on the board. This guy should have Warwick on the board as well. Now, still playing the Mordekaiser. Just rates it actually pretty good as just a random unit. I do think they got an item onto it there, but looks not actually that close. I mean, yeah, let's roll down here. I'll take a quick peek over. Also, look at this. Denying LeBlanc's. I mean, not sure why exactly, because it's not like this guy's going for LeBlanc 3. He does finally end up swapping out that Mordekaiser and the Swain to play the Jace here. I think that makes a lot of sense. So this is probably the strongest board that the Source guy can put together. We'll see how it does against our board. I feel like the Victor CC is going to be really big here. A lot of our frontline gets blown up here, but the Elise still surviving. Yeah, it does not look close, and it is a dub for this player who I don't know how to pronounce their name. A natural talent. A really fun one, and yeah, just showing off the power of this Visionaries comp. Yeah, I just wanted to pull up their final. Well, this is almost their final. This board, it's level up and play Victor. It's too much work to go find it. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Check out the comp. You know, let me know if you guys. I know you guys love one-tricking comps, so that's why I put this video out. But you know, if it goes well for you guys, let me know. If it goes bad for you guys, it's a skill issue. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks always for watching.